Alexis ASMR, and today we will be doing an anime and manga tier list. So basically, I'm screen recording on my Mac, and I plugged in my mic, so hopefully it works out. And also, I switched the echo back down on the mic, so hopefully it sounds better too. So we got 6 different tiers: masterpiece, peak, good, mid, bad, and trash. And basically anything that is good or above is worth watching. But definitely check out anything that's in masterpiece. Those are like the best you're gonna find. Also, this is my opinion, obviously, so if you disagree, it's okay. All that matters is that you're enjoying what you're watching. And this is basically just like some recommendations for if you haven't checked out some of these. So yeah, I just found a random tier list and I put all the ones I watched on the top. So let's get straight into it. First, we got Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 is one of the best like new animes to come out. You know, I watched it when season 2 was coming out, which was a few years ago, and I started watching a few years ago also, so this one my first, and it was really good. Mob is like an amazing main character, and Reagan is also iconic, you know, and season 3, the ending was amazing, you know, also the animation is fire. Like Studio Bones did like all that they could, you know, to make this peak. So yeah, the story, characters, and animation are all really good. So I have to put this at peak. And this show also teaches some good lessons, so it's pretty inspirational, especially if you're like Mob. So yeah, go check it out. Next we got Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen. I've watched the anime. I haven't read the manga. The first 2 seasons are out, and it's really good, but it's a little overhyped. Still, it's a really good shonen, and you should definitely watch it if you like shonen. So the animation is just probably the top 5, maybe. The animation is crazy. Mappa did a good job. So, I have to put this. I might have to put this at peak. this kid Denji who like gets like turned into a Chainsaw Man because like he eats his dog. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, but it's also a little overrated. It's a pretty good shonen, and the action's really good. But the first part is definitely better. Like the second part is a little confusing, but it's still pretty good. So for Chainsaw Man, I'm gonna have to put it at, my bad, probably B. I mean not B good. Yeah, yeah, I put it at good. It could be at peak, but I think Jujutsu Kaisen Kaguya-sama is a little better. Next, we got Kuroko. It's basketball, and I've watched like the first 2 seasons of a while ago, and I don't remember much, but I kind of like put it on hold, so that says something about it. I mean, basketball's my favorite sport, but I don't know. It's like a pretty generic like sport in shonen, but I need to finish it. It's probably really good, but right now I'm gonna have to put it at mid tier. So mid is like not like bad, or like people call shows mid that they don't like, but mid means like it's middle tier, like it's pretty good, but not the greatest. So yeah. Next we got Death Note. This is one of the most popular, so you've probably already seen it, but Death Note is one of the best like psychological shows that I watched. Like the mind games between L and Light is just like amazing. They single-handedly like carry the show. There's also other pretty good characters, but they're the main characters, and the ending of like there's like 2 different arcs, and the ending of the first arc was crazy, and the ending of the actual ending was also pretty good, but the last 12 episodes weren't as good as the first like 25 episodes. So I'm gonna have to put it at peak also. Even though there's like 12, the 12 episodes aren't as good, it's still a really, really good shonen. These are mostly shonen, so I'm gonna have to put it at the top of peak. It's better than Jujutsu Kaisen. Next, we got Gurren Lagann. This is, I don't know if it's underrated, but I don't hear as many people talking about it, but it's a mecha anime, and it's like a coming of age story for the main character Simon, and it's honestly just so inspirational, like Mob Psycho. The characters are really good. Simon is one of the best protagonists, also, and Kamina is also really inspirational. And the action is actually crazy, especially near the end. The first few episodes are a little hard to get through. I mean, not hard to get through, but like pretty generic, but it gets really, really good around like episode 7 or something. So definitely keep watching. And honestly, it's my favorite mecha anime, even though I haven't seen that many. Probably need to check out Neon Genesis Evangelion, but I'm gonna have to. Yo, Loki, this is also pretty peak. I'm gonna have to put it above JJK also. Next, we got Assassination Classroom. Assassination Classroom. slice of life. Even so, I'm gonna have to put this at good. I just like, Shonen and Seinen a little better, but it's definitely like a relaxing show, so pretty good. Next, I need to stop saying next, but now we got Monster. Monster is amazing, amazing, amazing. This is like Death Note, except like seinen, It's like a little dark, but it's incredible, Like I read the manga first, like one and a half years ago, and then recently in the summer I watched it with my family because I needed to put them on because how good this show is. The manga and the anime are really similar, so it's up to you where you wanna like watch it or read it, but it's honestly like the characters are top tier. The stories carries it, but the story is actually like so good. Naoki Urasawa is one of the best like manga or like writers ever. So definitely check out Monster. There's a bunch of plot twists, and Johan is one of the best antagonists of all time. So Tenma is also pretty underrated, but I'm gonna have to put this at honestly masterpiece. It's really good. I'll put it. It's above Mob Psycho. One of the best seinens. Another seinen is Berserk, and if you watch my other videos, I've been reading it recently. I just finished the Lost Children arc. Still in the Conviction arc, but it was pretty like the Lost Children's arc was like as good as the Black Swordsman arc, I'd say. The Golden Age arc is definitely like one of the best arcs, in manga. The Eclipse was crazy. And it's just an iconic, manga. I haven't finished it, so I can't really like fully read it, but I'm gonna have to put this at peak. Probably like I don't know. I'll just put it here for now. It's definitely on Death Note tier, but the action, the art, favorite shonen probably. It's just iconic, you know. Everyone knows what One Piece is and how good it is. And honestly, the characters are just like every single character is really, really good. All their goals for the Straw Hats are inspirational, you know. And the each arc is like really good, you know. But Enies Lobby arc and Wano arc and the Marineford arc are my top three. It's really just like the best shonen, honestly, bro. There's not much to say. I haven't watched an anime, but the manga is something special. I read all 1,000 chapters in like a few months, you know. I caught up to it. Right now, we're at the giant. They're like at the giant islands, and they just came from Egghead. I haven't fully caught up. Like I'm 10 chapters behind, but the Egghead Island arc was, I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I feel like some of the other arcs are a lot better. But it's still the best shonen, so we're gonna have to put it right below 20th Century Boys. Monster has a chance to, you know, beat it out, but I don't know. One Piece is really good. Now we got Rurouni Kenshin. This is a shonen, a samurai, about a samurai. And honestly, it's been a while since I've read it. I haven't watched it, but I remember it being like, it's like pretty good, you know. The Kyoto arc was really good. The villains were really good, and the fights were crazy. Honestly, that's something I remember. So I'm gonna have to put this at top of good. The sword, like samurai, he's like a swordsman. Samurai is like, oh, I'm so sorry for that noise. It's like kind of like Vagabond, not really, but not much to say about it. But it's really good shonen. So next we got Full Metal Alchemist, and this is one of the best animes I've ever seen. I watched this with my family like a few years ago, so I started watching it this summer, and when school started, I watched this with my sister and my mom, and it was just an amazing experience. You know, the story, like, it just goes together so well. And don't get me started on the characters. The characters in Fullmetal is probably one of the best casts in anime. Like, the Seven Deadly Sins were really good antagonists, you know. Hohenheim is probably one of my favorite characters. And Edward is such a good protagonist. Alphonse, great. And Ling and May, and there's just so many characters. Armstrong, you know. Definitely gotta check it out. Everything about it is like top tier, you know, characters, animation, story, and the music is so good. I haven't talked about the OST for any of these animes yet, but Full Metal Alchemist OST is peak, bro. I already get nostalgic to it. So we're gonna have to put this at masterpiece. Honestly, Monster OST for Hunter x Hunter is probably better than Full Metal, even with all me saying how good Full Metal OST was. But yeah, I'm about to put Hunter x Hunter above a little bit, you know. The characters are also, like, Miriam's, like I said in my other video, is my favorite antagonist. Hunter x Hunter is a little better, in my opinion. Oh, Dragon Ball. I think this is like Dragon Ball and Z. So, I read this like last year, I think. And, the original Dragon Ball, like when Goku's still a little kid, is like pretty good, you know. It's not the greatest, but Dragon Ball Z is really, really good, you know. It's a little overhyped from nostalgia, but Recipe Akira Toriyama, this is still really good. Shonen. The Cell, yeah, the Cell arc and the Frieza arc is like the best back-to-back, like, shonen arcs. I mean, one of the best. You know, Gohan is probably my favorite character, and his fight with Cell is just iconic. So I'm gonna have to put Dragon Ball with the regular Dragon Ball. I'm gonna have to put it at the top of good. If it was like Dragon Ball Z, I'd probably put it at the bottom of peak, but that's just where it has to go. Gintama, I've watched like about 70 episodes of the anime, so I really can't judge it fully yet. But it's really funny. One of the funniest animes you're gonna watch. Even if you don't get all the references, I still think it's hilarious. And every episode makes me smile, so it's just like really good to watch when you're like down or like it's a long day. Just one episode is like really good. But with that being said, it's taken me a while to like fully watch it, you know. It's best to watch it with like a few episodes a week. Like, don't overdo it, don't binge it, you know. So for Gintama, I'm gonna have to put it in below Rurouni Kenshin, probably. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it gets really, really good. But it's still